Hey, welcome back to Karen's Papercraft. Thank you very much for watching. Wat leuk dat u weer kijkt. Dankjewel. Today I have another trick-or-treat packaging to show you, and it's a chocolate coin pocket. I've made it see-through because these coins have two sides to them. I have tips and tricks to show you how you can protect these delicate branches from getting damaged, and I'm showing you how you can use a cellophane bag to make these windows. So come and join me today. The colours that I've used are Highland Heather and Pumpkin Pie, and I've decided to let the colours of my coins decide which colour I'm going to use, and for this coin I thought it might be nice to use Granny Apple Green. Do you see? That would make a nice contrast. You also need a scrap of basic white for the sentiment strip. I have used the Scary Cute stamp set and the matching Scary Silhouette dies, and as I promised you, I'm going to use these cellophane bags for the window. I'm also going to use some adhesive sheet, and I think I have all the elements. Oh, and you're going to need a stapler. This is a Stampin' Up stapler, but any staple will do because we no longer sell these. It's a great one, has a great reach, but as I said, it's no longer available. I'll start by showing you the cutting of the cardstock. Your pocket is made up of two pieces. The front piece first of all, and I'll blend in the sizes. So 3 3/4 by 4 7/8. That's the front piece, and for the back piece you're going to need a 2 7/8, and I'll see if this is all right. Yeah, this would work. 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. So I'm cutting this just a bit smaller. And I've made it in two pieces because I want to be able to get the see-through part exactly in the same position, and I'm going to use adhesive sheets for the branches. Now you can do without the adhesive sheets, it would certainly speed it all up, but you see they are delicate and they might get damaged in your trick and treat basket, so I decided to use the adhesive sheets. First of all, I'm going to continue with the front piece because, well, there's a little more work involved there, and I'm going to do some measuring. I'm going to put pencil lines on, and I'll blend in the pencil lines as well so that you can see. So on the sides I'm going to put a pencil line. Oh, well, you need a point, don't you, to your pencil, at 1 inch. And these pencil lines also, you don't have to put them, but they help me to center my die, and then it looks more neat. It's just me. When I make something, I want it to look good as well. And from the bottom, you're going to want 7/8 of an inch. And then on the inside, you're going to put a pencil line at 3/4 of an inch. So once you've decided this is the bottom, this is where you put that 3/4 inch line. Again, to help me center everything. And on the back piece you do some measuring. So front piece, back piece. Then I'm going to continue with die cutting the window, but before I do so I want to put some adhesive sheet on. And you're going to cut 2 pieces of adhesive sheet. Having cut these two, so front and back they're the same, I'm going to put adhesive sheet on. Now for the front piece, you're going to put the adhesive sheet on the inside, so where you put the 3/4 of an inch pencil line, and I'm going to put it on that pencil line, and then I'm trying to center it there and there. And I'll remove the other piece as well. And with the bone folder I make sure that it adheres well. And now I'm ready to do the die cutting. So this is the die that I'm going to use. I'll be using the bats later on. And top and the bottom, and this bottom part, the outside of the die, you're going to put on top of that pencil line. So not over it, but on top of the pencil line. And then I'm looking at the other two pencil lines, that there's an equal spacing there, and then I'm temporarily securing this, and I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. I'll go and do that, and then I'll be back with you. This piece I can still use. There is adhesive on the back, same as here, do you see? And now these leaves will be glued down onto the cellophane bag later on. Now of course I have to erase these pencil lines as well. Then I'm going to do the scoring for the front piece, and I'm using my trimmer for this. And you're going to score at 3/8 of an inch along the sides and the bottom. So I'm looking for the 1/2 inch mark, and I'm going to the 3/8. So on 3 sides. And along the top, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, because that's where the flap folds over. And while scoring, I noticed one more pencil line. There we are, which I'm going to erase as well. It's very tricky to see. There's a lot of sunlight in my craft room this morning. Okay, so then that's the front piece, and I'm going to show you excuse me, I've just recovered from a really dreadful head cold. That's why I didn't have a video last week. I was just too ill. I'm going to show you how you can cut, and I suppose you can't see, can you? I'll just get my back in my silicone craft sheet. Maybe you can see now. I'm going to need 2 of these windows, which I'm going to cut from one of the cellophane bags. So you take one of the cellophane bags, and you want the window size 3 inches by 2.5. So I'll start by cutting off a 3-inch strip, so with a long side top. And then a 2.5 piece. And another 2.5 piece. This is a scrap piece, and this can be used for more windows later on. Now we have essentially 4 windows, and they are attached. So with my scissors, I just put the scissors in between and then cut along that edge where it is attached. Here it's attached on 2 sides, so again you cut, slide in your scissors and cut, and then you have 4 windows. I'll need 2 for this pocket, 1 to start with for the front piece, and you can see that I can put it over my adhesive sheet, if I can get it off. There we go. Now this is a really tight fit, and I was wondering if I looked wrong. Oh yes, yeah, my mistake. The pieces of cellophane bag should be 3 1/4 by 2 3/4, because here you see there is some stickiness sticking out. Well, that's no problem for now because I can use my, what's it called again? Do you know where my brain is this day today? The powder something. Oh gosh, I'll blend in the name. My brain has gone AWOL. Now it's not sticky anymore. So it's better to make your window slightly larger than the adhesive sheet, obviously. I'm going to put some tear and tape on 3 sides, so the sides and the bottom, and then I'm going to do the cutting. And I forgot to do the folding first. If I had, you and I would have been able to see the score lines much better, because I do put the tear and tape in between the score lines. I'll show you when I fold it, see, then it's easier to see. Then you're going to do some cutting. You just wedge the corners along the bottom. Here along the top, and this little glue flap. Well, I'm calling it a glue flap. It's not a glue flap because I'm not going to glue it down. It's just a flap that I fold over. Alright. So that's the front part of that pocket finished. I can fold over that one. I'm putting this aside and I'm going to show you how you can make the back piece. And here, also on the back, I'm going to put the adhesive sheet. And here it's a bit easier to see, so I'm trying to space it on 3 sides at an equal distance. I'm trying to get it on as straight as I can. This should work. And I just realised that I shouldn't have oh, you know what? You don't need pencil lines on this one, do you? Do I? No, because I can do it like this. Okay, forget about these pencil lines. I'm going to erase them. And I'm not going to film this again. I'll just erase my pencil lines and I'll adjust my notes as well. The point is that this die is not reversible. So if you do the die cutting on the wrong side, then you see the branches won't end up in the same position, and I do wanted that. So here I cut with the adhesive sheet on the back. For the back piece, I'm going to cut with the adhesive sheet on the front. Normally you do your cutting with adhesive sheet like this, and here I'm going to do it in the opposite way. So I'll put my die on. And I've decided to cut a larger piece of the cellophane bag to show that it fits much better. So here I have the second piece, and I wanted 3 1/4 piece, so 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. Same procedure, you slide in your scissors if you have a piece that is attached on one or more sides, and you see this fits over much better. So I'm removing the backing paper. And I'll put it on from this side as more paper to hold on to. Now I can put it in the pocket and see if I need to trim it just a bit more, and I do have to trim it a bit along the top. So I'm cutting off, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch, a couple of millimeters, see, really tiny piece, so that it will fit in between those lines. So I'm putting it on top of the front piece so that you see I'll put in the craft sheet again, it's darker, you see, and I've checked that everywhere my back piece falls within the scored lines to be able to fold it, and then I'm holding it here and I'm flipping over these edges and then the bottom. And do use a bone folder to press down really well. You want your tear and tape to hold the pocket really well. Okay, now that's the pocket. I'm going to show you how I made the sentiment strip and the bats. For the bats, I'm going to use a piece of basic black, which I have already put on some adhesive sheet so that the back of the bats is also sticky now, and then I can run these through the die cut machine as well to get sticky bats. And I'm going to use this die for the sentiment. Which is from the stamp set, the Scary Cute, and I want Trick or Treat, You're So Sweet. I'm going to need a block and some ink. I'm going to stamp this in Early Espresso. And run this through my die cut machine as well. Okay, so now I've lost my coin somewhere on my, here it is. Okay, so I can slide in the coin and I'm trying to get it in. Oh, hang on, before I do this I'm going to use my stapler and I'm going to put a staple towards the bottom because I don't want the coin to slide in too far. You do need this space to be able to score and fold, but if you don't put a staple towards the bottom, your coin will slide out of view. See, now it's floating under the trees almost like, I don't know, a moon. Then I'm going to staple it shut. And I'm going to use the bats and the Trick or Treat sentiment to hide the staples. And then there already was adhesive on the bats, so all I have to do now is take away the adhesive backing. I don't necessarily want to hide the staple at the top because then people can see that is where they open the pocket. But here towards the bottom I thought it looked nicer if I did hide my coin towards the bottom. If I was saying if I did hide the staples. So here you have chocolate coin pockets. That's it for today. In the run-up to Halloween, I will be making more types of trick and treat packaging, so do check out my channel the next few weeks, and do leave me a question or a comment. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much for watching. Dankjewel voor het kijken, and see you next time. Bye bye, tot ziens!